This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and you're watching another episode of SportsMinute. Hey, welcome in. Callan snuck in here. I didn't even see him pop in. But all right, let's introduce our co-host for the evening, Mr. Crispy Bacon. Crispy, how are you doing tonight, my man?
Doing good. Here to talk sports, but not too bad here.
All right, and then, of course, we have Callan. Callan, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I'm glad I got in at the last minute. Good to see you guys, and glad to be here and talking some sports on a Wednesday night. Nothing better to do. Good to see you all.
Absolutely. And then Mr. Big Game James. Big Game James, how are you doing tonight, my man?
I was reminded of the Raider quarterback situation before the show, so that made a damper on my night. But yeah. I'm happy to say I'm selling this thing. Thank God.
It's gone. It's gone. And then, of course, we have Mr. Big B. Big B, how are you doing tonight, my man?
No, I'm here ready to talk some sports and see what everybody has to say about our topics tonight.
All right. Well, thank you. Welcome all. We're glad every single one of you is here. Let's go ahead and jump to our first topic, which is, of course, we all know that March Madness is right around the corner. It's a big time of the year. People are so ecstatic about March Madness. So with that, I'm going to start out with James on this one. So James, who do you think is kind of going in at a little overrated team, and then who could be your shocker team?
Okay, so the overrated teams, I'm going to say in the East region, I'm going to say Iowa State. I feel like they might be one and done on, or maybe second round, first round exits. They're seated too high. Michigan State, I don't know why the hell they're in the tournament, but they're a number 9 seed. So in the West, I think they're very overrated there. Clemson, I think, would be one as well. And then there was one, Florida because of injury, and Kansas the same thing. Let's see. After that, everything is kind of set up really fine. Duke is only the 4th seed, Kentucky 9th. So they are where they are, and that's fine. Okay, so one shocking team, or can I name a few? For me, maybe one in each region. For me, I feel like Drake, the 10 seeded Bulldogs, are facing the Washington State Cougars. They could possibly make a run here in the Eastern region. In the Western region, Grand Canyon. They're only a 12th seed, but they might make a good run. I like their first two games if they make it that far. Sanford in the Midwest. That's another one for me I like. And then don't be shocked if James Madison, they're 12th ranked, but they were 31-3. They play an exciting set of ball. And also FAU. I think they're also a really exciting team. I'm sorry, Florida Atlantic. FAU, Florida Atlantic. So I think those are my sleepers. And then the overrated is what I said before.
All right, Big B, what you got for us?
I'm gonna overrated. I'm just gonna throw it out there because I'm gonna say the Big Ten because the Big Ten always gets teams in, but they never go far unless you're Michigan State. And I don't think Michigan State's gonna be that good of a team. I know Purdue's ranked one or seeded one, but I still think that Big Ten's. I'll be shocked if we see a Big Ten team in the Final Four. A surprise team. I know they're ranked number 4, but I hear a lot of people are going to say Auburn could take down UConn. So I'm going to go Auburn as my surprise team.
Okay, we will go to Callan on this one. If he's there, we'll see if he's available at the moment.
He's on mute, so he must have stepped away.
Mr. Crispy Bacon, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so I'm going to also go with the Big Ten as kind of overrated, but I'm also going to put in the Big 12, all the teams in there because it seems like it's been a while for them too. I can't remember who played last night, but in that first 4 matchup, that pretty much came down to the buzzer. I can't remember the name, but the team that won last night, I thought was a surprise team. I can't remember their name. I'm looking at the bracket, but there's a lot of surprising teams in there.
All right. So James, I do want to say something about Florida Atlantic that you were saying could be one of those surprising teams. I will completely agree with you that Florida Atlantic could be one of those surprise teams. You remember when Florida Atlantic made that great run? Well, this could be another situation to where Florida Atlantic could do that Florida Atlantic thing and make another Florida Atlantic run.
Yeah.
I think they can. I really think they can. Now
They would play in the second round, number 1 UConn, though. I mean, that would be tough right away. Yeah.
I get it, but I think they can. I'm telling you, I think that they can shock. They're just that Cinderella team that I could. So you have Florida Atlantic. I could see Drake being another one.
Throw in Yale.
What?
Throw in Yale.
I'm 50-50 with Yale. But okay, so James, let me ask you this: Yale. What makes you think that Yale can be one of those surprise teams?
Oh, I have no. I saw them win they were one of the first ones, I think, to win their Ivy League. One of the ones to get in the automatic bids. They've just been a complete team all year. I would trust them over the other, not over all the other 13s, but I think they're just a solid team. So sometimes those Ivy Leaguers, they come and surprise you, like Princeton. That one year, you just never know, but it's all about matchups this time of year. I'm hoping for all madness, and if Yale beats Auburn, that would be something.
I am not disagreeing with you there. One thing that I have said too, that going into this one is that, and you can give me flack for saying this or whatever, but I said going into this tournament, one number 1 seed that might be in trouble is North Carolina. They're going up against Mississippi State, and they cannot overlook Mississippi State because this is one team that I feel they can beat North Carolina. And so it's like that's one team that you absolutely cannot overlook. All right, so Callan, I'll go to you. The ones that are going in overrated, and then maybe your Cinderella stories.
Let me start with the play-in tournament. Virginia was an absolute disgrace last night, getting blown out by Colorado State in the first four yesterday. James was right, and I think we talked about it Monday on C2C at night about UNC probably being the most vulnerable one seed. If I had to rank them by vulnerability, I'd go UNC, then probably Purdue, because they had a couple of, stubbed toes along the way, then Houston, then UConn, though I know UConn had their own things. But overrated seeds, I would probably, just looking through the bracket real quick, I think we all agree about Michigan State. I mean, how does a program who loses that many games in a year get into the tournament? And I know it's about, the brand names and stuff like that. So definitely for sure, Michigan State is probably my overrated team at this rate. Sleeper teams, though, and I said this on Monday, any 5 versus 12 matchup scares the crap out of me. Literally in my bracket, I've got UAB beating San Diego State. I've got GCU beating St. Mary's. I have McNeese State beating Gonzaga. And I have James Madison beating Wisconsin. Like, those matchups always scare me. And I even told James on air on Monday that the first 5 and 12 matchup that scared the crap out of me by far and away was JMU and Wisconsin. Then I would probably say the next one is probably Grand Canyon and St. Mary's, because Grand Canyon has been building something for the latter part of a decade in Phoenix that is pretty special. And then other upset watch is definitely Drake as the 10 seed in the East region for me. And then after that, honestly, would probably be, just kind of skimming through what James and I picked on Monday, it's probably about it. Maybe, though, Duke upsetting Houston in round 2, round 3. But if I had to go, though, with overrated ball clubs, Virginia for sure being in the first 4 again and getting boat raced by Colorado State, a Mountain West school beating the crap out of an ACC school. Michigan State getting in with a pretty poor record, though, but again, Izzo and his name, Michigan State's reputation and their name. And then for Cinderella runs, I look at Drake, and I look at any 12 seed, because 12 versus 5 every year, it always seems to go sideways. So that's what I would probably say, though. But I got UConn repeating as national champs this year, though, in case anyone cares.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know how I forgot about Grand Canyon, because I know that I did have that. I did have that on my list too, that I was like, that could be one of those surprising teams. And I don't know how I didn't even mention that until you said it. And I'm like, oh yeah, freaking Grand Canyon is another one of those. So
they are.
I think we're all excited for March Madness to start. I just love the craziness of it all, because you never ever know exactly what's going to happen. Now, I think for years, people were excited because of how close the 16 seeds were getting for a very, very long time. And they kept getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And then it eventually happened, and like, oh my God, it finally happened. A 16 finally beat a 1. And it's like, are you going to see that this year? Maybe, like we were talking about, possibly North Carolina losing to Mississippi State. That could definitely be one here. So hi, Christy, and then hi, Asmi. I don't know if I said your name wrong. I'm sorry. But hi, Asmi. Okay. We will now transition over to our next topic of the evening, which this one is actually about Nick Saban. So the reason we're talking about Nick Saban is because of the fact that this was actually his wife that had mentioned this. His wife was the one that was trying to figure out why they are continuing, like why he was continuing to coach, why he was continuing to bring players to his house to feed him and things like that. When in today's college football, she told him so much, hey, the game has changed, that these players no longer are more worried about, winning and things like that. Now it's more, she felt like it was more about money now with the NIL deals and sponsorships and things that are happening there. So she was able to be like, hey, Nick, why are we doing this? So James, what's your thoughts? Like, do you feel like Nick's wife was actually correct with saying this?
I won't say correct, but I think she's just trying to save Nick from, having more, heartburn and more pain because of the NIL deals. I think it's more about what can I earn for a player. I mean, which is fine if you're trying to earn money as a player, but it's just chaos right now. That's what I feel like it is. And I think she had a quote saying, "Why are we doing this? All they care about is how much you're going to pay them. They don't care about how much you're going to develop them, which is what they've always done. So why are you doing this?" And she brought people over, for like a breakfast or something to meet up with the recruits and the families. But now it's just turned into a money grab instead of, getting your education, just development. And plus, they could just leave you in 1 year. They could take the transfer portal and just be gone if they don't get a chance to start, if they don't get what they want. It's just alerting, but it's in their perspective. I mean, you have two sides to this. You have the player side, is which I'm going to try to get my own before I go to the league and get more.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the coaching side, which Saban has been a coach for like 50 plus years, and he's known just one way. And it was like, hey, we don't want to pay the players. We want them to, earn the work. We want them to be part of a team and not make this like a pro game. And with all this chaos of NIL and transfer, it's just become a pro game. And every offseason has really turned into hell for Nick Saban and all these coaches. If you're not a popular coach or a popular university, you're not going to get these high recruits. I remember somebody mentioned one coach, I think it was Nebraska's coach, Matt, not Nagy, but Matt Rule, saying, thank you. It takes $2 million to get a starting quarterback, and a really good one. And when you say that in college football, that's where we have a problem. And I think that's why the wife was saying, hey, we don't need to be doing this anymore. You have to worry about your health. You're like 70 something. You've made enough money for us. It's time to just let it all go because things aren't the same.
All right. Thank you for that, James. All right. Big B, do you feel like Nick Saban's wife was absolutely correct with this?
Oh, she's for sure 100% correct. I mean, like James said, the players are out looking for themselves now before the team, before their even education, because everybody's coming at them with money. Hey, we'll pay you these NIL deals if you go here or sponsor us, or and then like also James said too, players don't start for a certain team they feel they can start. They'll jump. We'll call it free agency because that's pretty much all it is right now. The portal needs to be shut down. I think we've stressed that on a few shows. But yeah, overall, she's right. Why keep doing coaching and bring these players in when, one, they're not committed to you unless you give them exactly what they want, starting job, X amount of dollars. And heck, even if a better deal comes, they'll jump into the portal and go somewhere else. So, I mean, yeah, she's right. He should get out. Go be an analyst. Maybe, go be a oh God, what am I thinking of? A spokesperson for a team. I'm trying to think of a different word for it, but just a visor for certain teams, being the pro or the college level. But I just think he needs to just. I think him stepping away is going to be good, and I think she's 100% right on the players' thoughts.
All right. Callan, we're going to take this over to you. Do you agree with what Big B and James have said so far?
I do and I don't at the same time, because I think we've talked about this, guys, at length so many times on Press Row or on this podcast about the changing tides and changing waters of the college landscape. I think it all begins with realignment first and foremost. I'm not going to blame NIL deals as the lone guy who believes that NIL deals will work because of what has happened in the past with players who've been paid before they could get paid to play for certain programs, a la Reggie Bush, DeAndre Ayton at Arizona, Zion Williamson, to name a few. Teams who've been penalized because of whatever the things were with boosters and alumni giving these kids money during the course of their careers, and it cost teams victories, cost teams national championships, or in Reggie Bush's case, cost him a Heisman Trophy. So I will stay on the soapbox that I believe that NIL deals will work. I agree, though, with Brandon that the portal cannot be open 24/7, 365. If there's a season going on, it has to be shut until the national title game concludes. And once 12:01 a.m. hits the day after the title game, then the portal can reopen. I said that on Press Row to a very high degree when I gave my impassionate rant that I thought Michigan should have been barred from being in the CFP because their head coach, who's now in the NFL to dodge any further penalties, already had 2 strikes on him in regards to the COVID era recruiting violations with buying lunch for the kids. And then, of course, the whole issue with sign stealing that came up. Like, that should have right there excluded Michigan out of the entire CFP, in my opinion. But again, I admitted that I was wrong because Florida State proved to be a bunch of sore losers in the Orange Bowl when they played Georgia. But at the end of the day, though, I know that I said, though, that when Saban retired that I did not think it was about the changing landscape. And again, I was wrong that it is, in fact, about it. Because I think, though, like I said, though, that these older coaches who've been in tune with a outdated, broken system like Saban, Gino Auriemma, Patty Grasco, for example, that they don't want to deal with the nonsense that is with the portal and with NILs and even with realignment for that matter, that I think it was the right time for Saban to get out of Dodge before anything else maybe goes haywire. Now, again, I think the most bogus story, though, guys, of going on in college athletics, and I hate saying it, though, as someone who works in Division I athletics, is Dartmouth men's basketball trying to form a labor union to become employees of the university. I didn't know how to talk about that story on Monday, and I still don't know if it's even going to work out, because that could take decades, and maybe a millennium or a century to finally get that all ironed out across the board. But I think, though, Saban got out at the right time. But again, I will say it once more that I believe that NILs are good, though, for these athletes, again, where they can get some sort of revenue off their name, image, and likeness when it comes to video games or endorsements to, again, just because of what we have seen in the past, though, SMU back in the day, Reggie Bush, DeAndre Ayton, other notable programs who've had to vacate victories and national titles all because, the kid had no money to buy food at the school cafeteria. Again, it's a broken system in place right now. And I think Saban got out at the right time. And I think that his wife is partially right. But at the end of the day, it's a whole new game right now in college athletics. And I blame a lot of it, though, mainly, guys, on realignment more than I blame it on NILs. And the portal is also a very big problem. And like I said, though, if I was in charge, though, that portal cannot be open in the middle of March Madness. Like Chris said a while back, you can declare that you're going to transfer, but that cannot become official till the national champion is crowned in men's and women's basketball in early April. Once 12:01 a.m. hits the day after the national champs are crowned, then you can freely move about the country. But when there's a season still going on, you can't be moving you can't be moving chess pieces like this and already planning for next season at this rate.
Yeah, it's like free agency. They have that, what they call tampering, where, yeah, you can say I'm going to this team or that team, but it's not official until that time period is there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so a big thing that has been going around that people have been talking about was saying that since the NIL deals have started and everything, they're like, should Reggie Bush get his Heisman Trophy back now? Because before his Heisman Trophy was taken, and so they're like, should he get it back now? Because all this stuff is legal. I don't know, but that can be for another time anyways. But Crispy, it sounds like you kind of agree with what everybody was saying.
I do. I think there's a lot of components in all of this stuff that it's not just the NIL thing. I think it's everything in college football or college sports, either way, I think it has to do with that, where it's not just about winning, it's about how much can you pay me to send me here. I want to be paid. That's
All
pretty
right.
much what it sounds like.
No, and I completely agree with you, 100% there. So, like I said, you could go on and talk about that for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and kind of beat a dead horse. But
Trust me, it ain't fun when it's the only thing you can talk about in college athletics.
right, yeah, it's
Especially when you work in it too. And, I've been in, during the course of like softball games, we'll kind of talk about the landscape of college athletics with me and my bosses and whoever else is working games with me and stuff. When we kind of talk about this sort of stuff, though, I'll never forget, though, real quick, that I remember when kind of like when we heard other rumblings of realignment, I remember sitting down one day and forging this plan for the West Coast Conference, the conference that I work in at University of San Diego, and the WAC merging together because we're all non-football schools. And one of my bosses actually liked my ambitious plan because of the fact of like, well, I mean, all these mega conferences are becoming a thing. But, at the end of the day, though, like I said, it's a never-ending circus kind of right now in a way where it's one of those inmates running the asylum right now. And I do think, though, that whatever does happen, guys, I think that more and more coaches, though, like I said, begin questioning their mortality. Like a Saban, like I said in my take, is that this was the right time, I think, for him to finally get out of Dodge. Because does a coach who was so entrenched, though, with like the old ways, though, do they want to, compete nowadays with like a younger head coach, like, for example, a Kellen DeBoer, now coaching at Bama after Saban retired, does a older, longer season, like 30, 40-year, tenured head coach want to adapt to changing times to keep up with that hotshot coach like a Deion Sanders, for example, because of the NIL deals and the sponsorships and all that stuff going on? Again, I think Saban got out at the right time.
all right. So, thank you so much for that. We'll move on to our next topic of the evening. So our next topic is about none other than Mr. Aaron Donald, who has announced his retirement from the National Football League. We know he's kind of been a force for a very, very long time. A lot of times when guys retire, we'll come on and for certain guys, we'll talk about, is this guy a first ballot Hall of Famer? Is he not, or whatever? Well, when you look at Aaron Donald, by his career accolades, I don't see how this guy could not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So, James, again, would you agree that Aaron Donald should be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Yeah, in all different languages. Definitely. Man, I didn't really know what to expect when he first came out in 2014 out of Pitt from St. Louis, the Rams there. But, man, right away, he balled out. Dude was a 10-time Pro Bowler, 8-time All-Pro. Only twice he wasn't because of Khalil Mack with the Raiders. But he got that validation for a Super Bowl champion. He's a Hall of Famer of the all 2010 teams, so I think you have to definitely put him in because of that. 3-time All-Defensive Player, or 4 times the Defensive Player of the Year. Now look at the years he had, sacks-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times he had double-digit sack years out of the 10 seasons he played. When you do that, that speaks volumes. That means you're getting double-teamed and triple-teamed. And then it's a mistake when you don't do that to him. So he was awesome. And I know there was talk after the Super Bowl that he was going to retire, him and McVay. I'm happy he stuck around 2 more seasons. He was still a threat. He was still getting double teamed and triple teamed. And then he was a force with the rushing game. You couldn't rush through him. He would put you back. He was amazing with all the tackles. So I think he had 17 games with at least 4 quarterback hits. And that's just punishing. I mean, the Rams, all the history, LA, they've had great defenders. The Fearsome Foursome, Youngblood, and the list goes on. Kevin Green, and he's just right up there with them. But I think the one thing that separates them is that Super Bowl that none of them could get. So he's right at the top. When when you talk about the Ram defenders up front. He did it too, all like defensive tackle, defensive end. He was awesome. He's one of the best ever, and yeah, he's first ballot right away, I think.
All right. We'll go to Big B next on this one. So, Big B, Aaron Donald, first ballot.
He should be, but again, NFL is kind of weird on their Hall of Fame stuff because it seems like the people that we think are going to be first ballot typically take a couple years. Also depends on how many they get in because I think they need a minimum of 5, I think, to have a Hall of Fame ceremony. So that could play a factor. And, we also know that the NFL doesn't like to have 2 people from the same position in there. So you got to look to see who's on the ballot when he becomes eligible. And I haven't heard yet because typically you hear if he filled out his retirement papers, because that's always a question too. So I guess we'll wait to see what week 1 brings. I'm not saying that he's going to pull a number 4 and unretire, but until, yeah.
Or a 12.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, opportunity may knock. He may call. He may just want to sit out the preseason, which a lot of vets try to do when they get to that part of their career. So, until the paperwork is finalized, or even heck, until week 1, I'm still unsure if he's actually fully retired. But again, if he is, good for him. He had a great career. Should be a first ballot, but again, NFL's voting is weird and their rules and stuff, so it would not shock me if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
All right. And Callan, I know you're not a big football guy, but I know you know who Aaron Donald is. I know obviously you know who he is. So do you kind of agree with everybody that Aaron Donald should be a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I think he should be a first ballot. He certainly is in my book for giving birth to the whole pointing at the ring finger after he sacked Burrow to end the Super Bowl at SoFi, to kind of giving birth to the whole championship ring celebration, or kind of getting it started. I think mainly, I do think he should be a first ballot for, I think more about the longevity. I don't recall him ever like missing time with injuries or missing a long sustained portion of his, like missing like a half a year or a full season with some big injury, like a lot of guys in football do. Sadly, plus his position again on the defensive line, like James said, though, with the numbers backing up with sacks, and again teams showing that respect, though, of you got a double team or triple team. And I think though, I think part of the reason why I think he is, though, is think about all the quarterbacks now who've been on Twitter and on Facebook and on the gram going like, thank God Aaron Donald has announced his plans to retire. Like, especially Kyler Murray had a lot of fun with it too. Like, hey, in all seriousness, congrats on the great career, though. But, maybe Brandon's right, though, about maybe sit the preseason out, maybe talk to the wife. Like, maybe could I do this 1 more year, 2 more years, things of that caliber, though. Because I think more than anything else, along with the numbers, is I think more about the longevity. No long sustained injury time from what I can remember, or what I've seen in the box scores or seen on the web, though. That's, I think, a very key thing, though, for a player, especially on the line and on offense or defense, is being there every game, every snap, going forward towards the quarterbacks, though. So again, though, I think, guys, we all know that Hall of Fame voting for any sport is always hokey, that there's going to be a couple of people who hold out on voting yes or no for players. Again, look at baseball, for God's sakes. But at the end of the day, certainly if he's not NFL or Canton bound, he's certainly going to be like Ring of Honor, Rams legend, Hall of Fame, up there with the likes of the Fearsome Foursome, Marshall Falk, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holton, those guys that were the greatest show on turf. And I think he will certainly be the first number retired in the new LA Rams franchise history as of 2016.
I love it. Yep, absolutely. All right. Crispy Bacon.
Yeah.
Is Aaron Donald a first ballot Hall of Famer?
I'm not sure about first ballot, but he's definitely a Hall of Famer. He has the accolades and awards to get him there. But it just depends on how they vote him in. I don't know if it's going to be a first ballot, but I'm sure he's going to get in 20. I think it's 2029. Long time from now, but
Oh, do they have the 5-year rule like baseball does
they
too?
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah. So
That's disappointing, but yeah.
That is disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
So, Callan, to go back to your thing for a second, I decided to look up, to see how many games he's actually missed over the course of his career. His first initial year, he started 12 games. He played in all 16, but he started 12 his
Okay.
rookie year. And then he played in all 16 the year after that, all 16 the year after that. And then he played in 14 of 16, only missed 2 games. Then played in all 16, played in all 16, played in all 16, played in all 17, and then he missed 5 games that year, and then he played in all 16 again. So
11
just a
missed
handful.
games in 11 missed games in 10 years. Bravo. That is incredible.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that longevity part is absolutely there. But
That's amazing, especially though in a position like I said on the line, especially that.
Yeah.
And I think that so we do all agree that he should be a first ballot, but we kind of know how the Hall of Fame stuff works. That it's kind of wonky and how they pick and choose about who gets in.
Chris didn't agree with that. He just said he was a Hall of Famer.
Huh?
Chris didn't agree he was a first ballot. He just said he was a Hall of Famer.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, Crispy said he wasn't a first ballot.
I mean, in all
He's not a
seriousness,
Cowboy,
though,
that's why.
Antonio Gates didn't get popped for PEDs. He would have been first ballot too, but they held that grudge against him though for the first ballot, and he'll get in next time around though. But still, come on now, a guy misses 11 games in his whole career like Aaron Donald should be first ballot, along with having the numbers like James had or said.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Those numbers are freaking crazy. It's ridiculous. All right. Crispy's walking away for a second. That's right. He'll be back. I wanted to make sure that we saved plenty of time for this next portion that we had, because this next portion can take a while. And I believe, all right, so there's 2 of us up here right now, and the other 2 are coming back. But this next portion, if you remember Big B, and I think James, you've seen this before, it's the Wheel of Doom. It's the teams that. Okay, so James has never seen the Wheel of Doom.
No, I think I have, but I'm trying to remember. My life is a Wheel of Doom.
So basically, what the Wheel of Doom is that we have each division in baseball, and we spin a wheel, and the team that it lands on in that division is the team you get. The only difference is this year is that I have given you your favorite team already.
Thank goodness.
When it comes to that
no.
division, okay, if James James, unless you don't want your favorite team, if you don't want them, that's
James,
fine.
the chances of you getting the Oakland A's in the AL West is about as high as you getting the Angels, buddy. Come on now.
I can put them back on the wheel if you would like.
No, whatever. I'll keep them.
All right. So James, all right. Big B, are you electing to keep the Minnesota Twins?
Yeah, I gotta root for at least one team, because I'll be the one. I'll get stuck with like the White Sox or the Tigers, that division, and then somebody will get stuck with the Twins, and they'll have a good year, So yeah, I'll keep my Twins. I mean.
And we already know that Callan is sticking with the Padres because
I've been up since 3:00 in the morning. I'm sticking with them.
I don't know if I could have got up that early to watch a baseball game. I don't know.
I slept on the couch purposely just to be up in time to watch the game. Simple as that. I'm not going to do it tonight, though, because I have to be up for college baseball tomorrow, sadly. I'll listen on radio instead.
So you're choosing to stick with them and that's great, because that is going to be our very first division is going to be right here. So Callan will not get a spin at this one because he already has the Padres. So with this one, we'll just start from right above Callan, and we'll go to Big B, and we'll kind of alternate each time to see who gets that in. So Big B will get the first spin on this
Oh
one.
boy.
So with Big B, let's see who his team.
Go Rocks. Go Rocks. Go Rocks.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they had the biggest piece of the pie. I mean, come on.
I'm sorry.
Damn.
See what that's what happens when you have a fan in the National League West.
So Big B, I don't know if you have a way to write this down, but you have.
Somebody take notes, send it to me later.
I'll take notes. I got you. Don't worry.
All right. So Callan's taking notes for Big B
I have
also.
a pen anywhere in here? Yes, I do.
All right. Are you good, Callan? All right. All right. So James, are you ready?
Give me the Dodgers.
All right.
All right. James.
No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, no Giants.
Giants.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So, all right. James gets the Giants. So this next one will actually go to Crispy Bacon, and I will get who's ever left.
Looks like a beach ball.
The
Damn it.
Dodgers.
Oh, Crispy gets the Dodgers. Crispy, good old Dodgers.
Oh, hey, Adam at least has the defending National League champion, so that's par for
Right.
the course, I'd say.
Yeah, I will. I'll definitely go with that. I'm actually going to mark that down on my little notes here.
Yep,
I've got.
I'm running on the back of a PA script that I used a couple games ago. So,
Oh, nice. Who are you keeping track there for?
everybody.
Okay, everybody. Perfect. Okay. D-backs. All right. So that one. So that first division is completely out of the way. I'm sure everyone's not happy about who they got because Big B kind of called.
I got my hometown ball club, and they're not going to beat the Dodgers like at all this season, so I'm totally fine with it.
Colorado will start on fire, and then they'll be like 30 games below 500.
Chris
at
Bryant
the end
will
of the
have
year.
another like freak injury and be out for the whole season again.
Yeah.
He'll be out for the whole season. Oh yeah, for some reason, he'll do. All right, so coming to our next division here, let's go ahead and pull them up. We're going to go with the NL East. So of course, the Braves are not there because I'm definitely electing to keep.
Oh no, you should put the Braves in. Come on now.
Nope, absolutely. All right, so with this one, Callan will actually get the first spin on this one.
Oh, Philadelphia.
It's going to get the Phillies.
Please.
Mets. Yeah.
Fine by me.
You know what we should? As we're doing this, one year we should do this, and then we have to make a fantasy lineup every week.
Oh God.
Right,
Okay, that'd be interesting.
Right. All right. All right. This time we will go to James. James will get the second pick on this one.
James, if you get the Phillies, you know who's going to be in your DMs every night.
That's not a good thing.
And
Come on,
James,
Nats.
Fighting
Oh, hell
Finch.
no.
He's getting the Marlins. He's getting the Marlins.
Man. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Big B, are you ready?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Big B is ready.
As long as I don't have to root for Bryce Harper, which I looks like I'm going to have to.
Oh.
So Big B is getting the Phillies.
Thank God he's blocked
got a
on
team
my
that'll be in second place,
Facebook.
unlike his NOS team.
Yeah.
And then Crispy, you end up with the Nationals.
Okay.
That was his World Series pick last year.
It would have been better in 2019.
Well, yeah, I think last year, Crispy actually picked the Nationals to win the East last year. I don't.
Well, yeah, he had to pick he had the Royals and the Nationals in the World Series last year.
I did.
That is bizarre.
Silly me. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I was bringing up the wrong one. Hold on.
All good.
Yep, I was bringing up the wrong one on that one. So we gotta, because that's the AL. So I brought up the wrong one. So let's go ahead and remove that one. We'll stop screen on that one.
Yep.
Let's see. It should be
NL
nope.
Central.
Yeah, NL Central.
Yeah, it should be. I'm trying to make sure it's there. There it is, right there. All right, there we go. All right, so with this one, the person that's going to get to go first on this one will actually be James. James has not gotten the first one yet, so James, you'll get to go first on this one.
Please don't be Pittsburgh.
And looks like it's going to be Cincinnati.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
There we go.
Nice.
I have them winning the Central, so God willing.
They probably got the most exciting player in the league this year.
De La Cruz.
Yeah.
All right, so there is Cincinnati. All right, Crispy, you'll get the next one.
He's gonna get the Cubs probably.
Yeah, I don't
All
mind that.
And it's going to be the
Ooh, go Cubs, go!
Cubs.
Cubs.
Crispy.
Hey.
All right, Callan, this is you.
Oh boy.
Pirates.
Pittsburgh.
There you go.
I'll take the Bucks. That's fine.
All right, Big B.
It could be the Steelers.
And looks like Big B gets the
Oh.
Cardinals.
Well, yeah.
Golf clap.
Yeah.
All right, is everybody satisfied with their teams
So far.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
from the
The Mets have
Central?
too many starting rotation issues and owners laying off employees in the front office, and then Pittsburgh might be turning a corner, I hope, pretty soon.
God willing.
God willing.
Yeah.
Got some
God
pretty
willing.
young, good players. McCutcheon's back in town.
Right, yeah.
Padres are the Padres.
Padres are the Padres. All right, so now we will start going to the AL side of things here. All right. So I don't think Crispy has not gone first yet. So this time, Crispy.
I went second last time.
Yep, you did. So Crispy will get the first one on this. And of course, as you see, you don't see.
Twins.
Yep, you don't see the Twins because Big B already has a pass on this one because he already has the Twins. So let's see who Mr. Crispy Bacon gets.
The Gar Indians. Not the Tigers.
Oh, I don't know why I put the Indians. It should say the Guardians. My
It's
bad.
all right. Everyone knows what we're getting at here.
Yeah. All right.
You can still go to the Indians.
Yeah. So Crispy
Yep.
is getting the Tigers.
Not yet,
Okay.
Christy. You haven't done the AL East yet.
So I got Tigers or
Yeah.
okay.
Gar
This
Indians.
one was going to be for Big B. So,
No, it's not.
huh? Oh, nope. Sorry. Not Big B. Sorry. Callan. My bad.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Yeah.
Ohio.
All right.
Please, the Royals.
Big game, James. This one's
Come
for
on,
you.
bro. Come on. I don't want that. No. Oh, hell no. They're going to suck. Oh, they're going to suck so bad this year. Oh,
Oh,
that's gross. Give me the Royals. Oh.
That is terrible. I'm
who
sorry.
got who got Kansas City?
I did.
And James got the Tigers. Or I mean, Chris got the Tigers. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chris got the Tigers.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
This
Yeah.
is doom.
That's why we call it the
I was gonna say this is why we call it the Wheel of Doom.
because you never know what you're gonna get. You never ever
Frank
know.
Thomas playing or Ozzie Guillen playing?
All right.
This is
All right, so with this one, we know that Crispy automatically gets his Rangers, and James
gets the Angels.
Yep. So I'll go
God.
first on one. I haven't done that yet. So this will be my spin right here. And it's a
Oh,
blank space.
What?
I don't know
Taylor
why
Swift.
it's a blank space, but we're going to remove that blank space. We're removing that blank space. And
Astros.
Astros.
Damn it.
Crap.
Crap.
They're going to be good again.
All
Ugh.
All right, Callan, here it comes.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Come on, Peoria. Come on.
There's-
Yep.
God, I'm glad I got him blocked on my instant messenger.
And then now
Can we make trades?
No.
we automatically
I'll trade.
know. Huh?
I'll take Oakland. I'll take Oakland from Big B if he takes the White Sox.
Oh no, I'll keep the A's. We'll take one from each division.
I'll keep
The only problem with me having the Mariners is that's my interleague rival. Like, I don't know if I should keep them or if I'm allowed to keep them.
That's funny though.
Vetter Cup.
The Vetter Cup. Exactly. Thank you, James.
Alrighty. I think
please,
on
the
this,
Orioles. Come on.
I think on this one we are back at James going first on this one. So, all right, are you ready?
Don't let it be Boston. Sorry, Chrissy.
Mm.
It's gonna be Yankees.
Yankees.
Okay, whatever. I'll take that.
It's a good regular season team.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go, Callan. This is all you.
Baltimore or
Damn
Toronto.
it. You got
Oh,
Baltimore.
looks like he's getting Baltimore.
Let's go.
Looks like he's getting Baltimore. All right, Big B, this is you.
Tampa Bay.
I'll take the Rays.
Hey,
Hey.
I'll take the Rays. Probably the best team I got.
all right, Crispy Bacon, this is all you. And looks like
Toronto.
he's getting the Jays.
Oh, Canada. I'm fine.
And you
It'll
are
be
getting
better
Jays,
this year.
I'm getting the Red Sox. Well, all right. So that is all of our spins. So now that we've done all of our spins, Callan, go ahead and we'll start with Mr. Big B. Name off Big B's teams for us, please.
Okay, give me a second. I actually put it into a spreadsheet. I'm trying to get the photograph or the screen grab uploaded. Okay,
Whoa.
I got Padres, Mets, Pirates. Let's see what we got here. I think I have it saved. It's just being imported right now. But this is my first time doing the Wheel of Death, and it was very fun. Here's what we got right here. Oh, not as a background. What am I doing here? It's been a long day, in case you folks can't tell, over here in Square 5. It's been a day. It has been a day. One sec. Okay, that's more like it. There's our picks right there, everybody.
There it is, right there. All right.
Thanks.
Yep, there is all of our picks. So not bad. I think the one that kind of got the crap into the stick, I don't know, it's kind of a toss up because
Big B getting Big B having the Wheel of Death land on Oakland in the American League West is pretty tough.
Yeah, Oakland, and then he has the Rockies in the NL West.
Yeah.
He probably has two for sure last place teams, sadly, in as his teams.
Yeah, and James has a really bad White Sox team.
Hey, I like my AL teams if this was 2005.
Yeah.
So
Sadly, he's got his hometown club, a very bad White Sox team, and an injury-riddled Yankees ball club in the American League.
Yep.
yeah, and
All I have is Cincinnati to go off of, honestly.
Now, San Francisco could surprise some people.
Yeah, and then I guess them too. Yeah.
Miami could surprise some people too. Who knows?
Yeah, because we're not quite sure on the Marlins yet. That one's
Never are.
Yeah, the jury's still out on that one. All right, Chris has the Dodgers, the Cubs. I mean, look at his first two teams right off the bat. The Dodgers and Cubs right off the bat.
Not
The
bad.
Rangers.
The defending world champions
So
in the American League
he's
West.
got the potential of having 4 of his teams in the playoffs
Yeah,
out of
he
6.
does. He does. That's crazy.
I
That's
think
crazy.
8. Oh, let's see. Big B might have no. He has probably 3 there, maybe 4 if St. Louis can figure it out.
Philadelphia for sure should be in.
Minnesota to win their division. Tampa Bay
Minnesota
sneak
ain't
in as a
winning
wild card.
crap.
Yeah.
Toronto and Texas, Cubs and Dodgers for Chris.
So Jason's saying Big B might get 2 playoff teams.
Philly and Minnesota.
No.
Tampa and Philly.
Tampa and Philly would be my best bet.
Tampa and Philly.
Yeah.
And James, for you, I'm seeing Cincinnati. I think the Yankees will make the playoffs. I think.
No,
I have
that's
one-
going to
I
be
have-
tough.
I have one last place team. I guess that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got the Diamondbacks, Braves, The Brewers could compete.
That
I
division's
know
up
they
in the
gave away
air.
their ace this year, so
Houston for sure, Adam, is going to probably be in the mix, though, in the American League West.
Yeah, and the Royals, I'm not so sure about. I don't think they're going to be that good. And then Boston, I don't think will be that good either. The Padres, Callan, I'm sorry. I don't think that they're going to be.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really – and it might be a good thing, though, that the Padres don't have expectations like where they were last year, where they can probably just kind of like fly under the radar, be their own team. Pittsburgh, they always seem to be stuck in neutral.
J-Mac's right. Callan probably has the best shot of having most of his teams in the playoffs.
Baltimore for sure. Cleveland maybe. The arch rival Mariners, I don't know about that.
Maybe 3.
3 probably. Baltimore for sure. Maybe Cleveland. Maybe Seattle. Maybe the Padres as a 4th.
I don't see the Mets though, because the Mets.
No way.
No, the Mets no, and the Pirates no. I don't see that either. So, but Jason's saying outside of the Pirates, you're good. Like
I would probably say minus Pittsburgh and the Mets. The other 4 of the 6 might be not shoo-ins, but I at least feel confident in those other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so we all know how the point standings work, correct?
Negatory. How do they work?
Yeah, so the point standings works. It's basically based on where you are positioned in your.
It's 1 through 5.
1 through 5. So if you're in first place, you get 5 points. You get 5 points for being in
Second
first.
place 4.
Yep. 3, 2, and 1, and things like that. So that's how the point system actually works. And each week, when the season starts, we tally up our points and we see how it's going.
Well, good. After the game at 3:00 tomorrow morning, and when my Padres are 0-2, I'll be in the cellar like my hometown ball club. Go figure. What else is new?
He'll be in the cellar. So the season has only started for Callan so far, and doesn't
Chris, because he's got the Dodgers.
Oh yeah. So Chris right now is going to be on top. And so Jason's saying Big B's team's ass almost as not as bad, worse than as what?
It's like the Moneyball line. There's the Yankees, there's the Red Sox, there's the Angels, there's 50 feet of crap, then there's us.
Yeah.
Right. That's But this is how I feel. It almost ends every year for for Big B. Like, no joke.
Yeah.
He usually ends up getting 2 or 3 of the shittiest teams in all of baseball every year. I don't know how it happens, but it happens every year. So
Minnesota luck.
And he gets settled with the Oakland, soon to be Las Vegas Athletics too.
Yeah, I think there's always like 3 teams that people go into every year that they're like, I don't want, and one of them is usually the Pirates.
Yep.
And it's typically Oakland, and then the third one, there's usually like a bottom tier team that's usually out there, like people know are gonna suck. Like this year will be like the White Sox and stuff like that. Other than that, you never know. but all right, so that is our Wheel of Doom. So our Wheel of Doom has now been completed. So now we're at that hour mark, so we can kind of give our final thoughts, and we will wrap this up. So, Big Game James, what is your final thoughts for us?
Tune in. Hopefully on Friday we'll have an entertainment hour. We'll be talking about a bunch of stuff going on, our favorite things, me and Chris and whoever wants to come on. And then on deck, we will have the Saturday with me and Chris and whomever. We'll have the season preview for our teams, and then kind of break down the 2 games we had in Korea.
All right. Big B.
No, thanks for joining. This Wheel of Death is always fun to start off with. End of the month, I'll probably, end of the first month, I'll probably be, 6 games back in each, division. Yeah, so no, it's always fun talking sports, doing this Wheel of Death stuff. Just keep checking out C2C all week long. Hopefully I'll be on Kicking It if it is happening this week, because I do have a great movie to get reviewed. And I think it's going to be one that's just going to be out there. So keep watching.
And yes, Big B has not won this game yet, so maybe he'll be able to turn it around this year with the teams he's got, and maybe his teams will surprise some people. All right. So Callan, your final thoughts.
I'm going to bed. It's been a long day watching Major League Baseball at 3:00 in the morning from Seoul, South Korea, and already in last place. No surprise, because the Padres are the Padres. But in all seriousness, though, again, thanks for everyone for tuning in. Sorry to kind of come on here a little bit late today. But of course, Press Row will be back next week. Again, fulfilling work tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for that matter. But we'll come back, though, next week to hopefully talk a little bit about the opening round of March Madness. I know I'll be getting up a little bit early again to watch basketball tomorrow instead of watching baseball. Always good to be here when I can be here on Wednesdays. And again, thanks for everyone for tuning in. And still got time, folks, to go and join us in the ESPN.com group for March Madness tomorrow. So get those picks in before it locks up for good.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and don't forget about the backyard yard games that are also coming up. Yep, right there. Yep, the backyard brew games are coming. Live coverage right here. We're all super excited for it. Can't wait to do it. All right, Crispy Bacon, your final thoughts for us.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching and tuning in. I just got something on my phone saying the Rangers signed Michael Lorenzen from the Phillies.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Okay.
I got something on my phone that said the Wild lost 6-0 today. So
the Wild lost 6-0. All right, so we definitely want to thank everybody for watching, and we will see everybody next week for another episode of Sports Minute. You can catch us tomorrow for an episode of Kicking It. So with that, have a great night, and we'll see y'all soon.